Yeah, I'm sitting here talking about these games, but like looking at Clemson as if they're the Clemson of old, not the Clemson of 2021. I'm assuming they're going to get their quarterback problem straightened out next year. That's first and foremost. Clemson's got to get better quarterback play, whether that's with DJ, whether that's with Cade Klubnik. It starts at the quarterback position. No doubt that offensive line's got to be better in pass protection, but first and foremost, Clemson's got to get better quarterback play. Brandon Streeter said yesterday that they were hoping that DJ would be healthy enough to participate in the spring, that his knee's not even fully recovered yet. So hopefully he can partake in spring practice because I think he's going to need it. He needs to be out there getting those reps, and he needs to get some good mojo going, get some good momentum going, carry that into the summer and the beginning of fall camp. Because unlike last year, Clemson's going to have an option on the bench they can go to if DJ struggles this year. They didn't have that last year. I know a lot of fans were aggravated with Dabo Sweeney for not going with Tyson Pumajon. I never thought he was a viable option. They're going to have a viable option this year. And if they can get better quarterback play, and I'm assuming they will, then, these games like Syracuse and Florida State and Boston College, you kind of just check those off because Clemson's got so much more talent than those guys.
Coming off the bye week after those 3 games into November with what could turn out to be a pretty rugged stretch drive here. The last 4 games of this season, the trip to Notre Dame, of course, that's a non-conference game, and then Louisville. So the one crossover game, if you're not familiar with folks out there with the ACC scheduling format, you play everybody in your division, of course. You have a designated division, out-of-division rival, and for Clemson, that's Georgia Tech, so they play the Yellow Jackets every year. So the other game rotates. So it comes up on Miami. Was Miami the best team in the division last year? No. Do they probably have the best roster and the best talent? Probably, yes. Them and North Carolina. So could be a difficult date again at Notre Dame, Louisville, Miami, and then South Carolina, of course, even though Clemson really blasted them, I think 30-0 last year. South Carolina much improved, and they're going to have a quarterback in Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, like you just said, the back end of this schedule is intriguing. That trip to South Bend, that was I know Clemson lost up there in double overtime last time they went up there, but that was a fantastic football game. And DJ had the quarterback that night because Lawrence was out. But this is going to be the stretch that decides the season most likely for Clemson. I think Miami's one of the most intriguing teams in the ACC with Mario Cristobal coming in because there's never been a doubt about them having talent on that team. Just for whatever reason, I don't think they've had the right head coach in place to get it all put together to get that production and be good enough to compete for conference championships year in and year out. I think Cristobal can be that guy, and they've got talent on that team. They got talent on the defensive side of the ball. That's a team I'm very much looking forward to seeing next season and how they do in the first year under that new coach. As for Louisville, I buy into them every year. I'm not buying into them anymore until they show it to me. I just there's something going on there. I don't know what it is. There's something just off there with Louisville and Scott Satterfield. I just thought he was such a good hire for that program when he was originally hired, and it's just not worked out for whatever reason. Off season leading into last year, he was looking for a way out of there. Just seems something off there, and I'm not buying into them anymore.
Yeah, he showed up, and they instantly turned around from 0-8 in the conference, 2-10 under Bobby Petrino. Scott Satterfield put them in a good place, and you just thought they were going to take off from there. I think that first season, like 8-5 with a bowl win, and then since then, they just have been just marginal. Last year, they lost Air Force in a bowl game. They went 6-7, but Malik Cunningham is coming back. Notre Dame, Louisville, Miami, South Carolina. And again, Spencer Rattler will probably be the starting quarterback and shore up their quarterback position after they started 4 different guys this past season.
Yeah, I know Clemson fans hate South Carolina. They're supposed to hate South Carolina. That's the rival. But, I like Shane Beamer. I really liked that hire when they made it, unlike when I hated the Will Muschamp hire. I really like this hire. I thought Beamer did a lot of good things last year. That Gamecock team was so much better than anybody thought it was going to be. And, now that they got Rattler in there, that's another intriguing program to keep an eye on this year. If Rattler can put it all together and stay out of his own head and be the leader that program needs, that South Carolina team can be a lot better next year than what it was this year. And they were much better this year than most thought they would be. That will be a fun game in Death Valley next year to see Spencer Rattler coming in there.
Good stuff. So there's the Clemson schedule. Again, it's highlighted by a Miami game cross division, and of course, Notre Dame and South Carolina outside the conference.